this too is true. Stories can save us. I'm 43 years old and a writer now. And even still, right here, I'm dreaming Linda alive. And Ted Lavender too. And Kiowa and Kurt Lemon. And a slim young man I killed. And a man sprawled beside a pig pen. And several others whose bodies I once lifted and dumped into a dump truck. They're all dead. But in a story, which is a kind of dreaming, the dead sometimes smile and sit up and return to the world.
How do they return to the world?
I know, like, I guess in the story they can be brought back to life because it's a story. You can write whatever you want in the story, you know? And so...
I wonder who Linda is.
Yeah, like, who might Linda be? Who is she, I wonder?
Start here. A body without a name. On an afternoon in 1969, the platoon took sniper fire from a filthy little village along the South China Sea. It lasted only a minute or two, and nobody was hurt. But even so, Lieutenant Jimmy Cross got on the radio and ordered up an airstrike. For the next half hour, we watched the place burn. It was a cool, bright morning, like early autumn, and the jets were glossy black against the sky. When it ended, we formed into a loose line and swept east through the village. It was all wreckage. I remember the smell of burnt straw. I remember broken fences and torn up trees and heaps of stone and bricks and pottery. The place was deserted. No people, no animals, and the only confirmed kill was an old man who lay face up near a pig pen at the center of the village. His right arm was gone. At his face there were already many flies and gnats.
Dang, that's probably a really horrible way to die.
Gruesome.
I really wouldn't want to die like that. And like, oh gosh, why would... Vietnam was a really destructive war. There. Dave Jensen went over and shook the old man's hand. "How do you do?" he said. One by one, the others did too. They didn't disturb the body. They just grabbed the old man's hand and offered a few words and moved away.
Why would you touch a dead person? Okay, I don't.
I really wouldn't want to touch a dead person.
Rat Kiley bent over the corpse. "Give me 5, he said. "A real honor." "Please, as Hunch," said Henry Domin. I was brand new to the war. It was my 4th day, and I hadn't yet developed a sense of humor. Right away, as if I swallowed something, I felt a moist sickness rise up in my throat. I sat down beside the pig pen, closed my eyes, put my head between my knees. After a moment, Dave Jensen touched my shoulder. "Be polite now," he said. "Go introduce yourself. Nothing to be afraid about. Just a nice old man. Show a little bit of respect for your elders." Why would it matter if you talk to somebody that's dead already?
I know. I really wouldn't want to talk or touch a dead body. So I'm wondering, why did they have to? Like, I mean, I know the people, like Henry Domin, he probably wanted him to, but I know if I was in the war, I probably would have stayed away from the body also. "No way. It's too real for you." "That's right," I said. "Way too real." Jensen kept after me, but I didn't go near the body. I didn't even look at it, except by accident. For the rest of the day, there was still that sickness inside of me. But it wasn't the old man's corpse so much. It was the awesome act of greeting the dead. At one point, I remember they sat the body up against the fence, they crossed his legs, and talked to him. "The guest of honor," Mitchell Sanders said, and he placed the gun, a can of oranges slices, in the old man's lap. "Vitamin C," he said. A guy's health, that's the most important thing."
Okay, why would a dead person have to have vitamin C? He's already dead already.
Well, maybe they're just trying to, you know, make it seem like he's not really dead, because it was basically them who killed him, so maybe they were trying to fill
They didn't
the
want
gap.
to believe it.
They didn't want to believe it, or they just wanted to, like, be
Convince
polite.
themselves that they
Convince
didn't do
themselves,
it.
probably. So,
Yeah. They proposed toast. They lifted their canteens and drank to the old man's family and ancestors, his many grandchildren, his newfound life after death. It was more than mockery. There was a formality to it, like a funeral without sadness. Oh, they wanted to be happy.
They wanted to, like,
Make it seem like they were
Like-
happy for it and not sad.
Yeah, like a funeral without sadness. They probably wanted it to be like, oh, he's dead, but it's not a bad thing. Like
Okay, well, that was our part of
reading
Life After Death.
Living of the Dead.
Oh.
Lives of the Dead.
Lives of the Dead. And this is Jessica.
And Jessica.